Hey, 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 what's up? What's up? Listen, it's your girl, Sean Taylor, once again, coming to you with a vlog about a topic that is always asked, a topic that I am currently going through. And I figured I would take the opportunity to have this conversation with you, to give you some information and some insight. Listen, if you're joining me on the vlog, excuse the background, y'all. One of our businesses, we've got a bunch of stuff going on and there's stuff all behind me and I don't want y'all to see my craziness. So I have blurred the background because there's a bunch of shenanigans going on in the background, okay? So listen, I wanted to come with you and talk to you about a subject that we all kind of are either going to go through or are currently going through or just kind of nervous about, right? And so that subject is high school, homeschooling through high school. Is that something that we can do? Is it something that we can do? Is it as easy as I think it is? Is it as difficult as I think it is? Like, what is it that we're getting ready to walk into? So I wanted to have that conversation with you and also walk with you through this journey because I'm currently going through it. I currently have a senior and I have a freshman ish, right? Freshman-ish, senior-ish. And there are some things that have been really difficult for us and our family. And there's some things that have changed and unfortunately have had me kind of in a panic. And I've had to redo some things and restructure some things to make sure that we're all on the same page. So listen, do me a favor. If you're joining me, please share, because there are tons of people out there that have these type of questions about homeschooling high schoolers. But not only that, but y'all, your girl is representing for the culture, right? Your girl's out here putting information out for people just like you. And I need for you to share because somebody out there needs the help that you guys that I'm giving, right? So listen, we're talking about high school, right? And so if you need some notes, piece of paper, whatever case, do whatever it is you need to do. But I want to make sure that you have as many details as you possibly can. But here we go. So the first thing that you want to do, and I preach this all the time, is what is your child's end game? You want to determine what your child's end game is. So that would be you having a conversation with your baby and saying, sweetheart, what is it that you want to do? So I would start having this conversation maybe around 7th or 8th grade, and not like a deep conversation where you have to get details, but just so you know exactly where they are, right? Like mentally where they are with their goals and aspirations. And have that conversation kind of often. And I'm not saying like every day, every month, anything like that, but maybe in 7th grade, have the conversation, then 8th grade, maybe have it again. And then towards the 8th grade year, have it again, right? So you all know where you guys are at or where you need to be. Now, it's important that you have this conversation with your child, right? And not determine it on your own, because guys, this is their journey. It's just our responsibility and our goal to make sure that they succeed in the journey that they choose. So I don't want you saying, I want my baby to go to college. Most of us want our babies to go to college, but what if the college route is not for them? And so you're forcing them to do something that they don't want to do because you think you know better, right? So it's important that we find out what's their end game. What is it that they are trying to do? What is important to them? Do they want to be? And I'm not gonna lie, y'all, my son that is now a freshman, it scared the dickens out of me. It scared the crap out of me because his aspiration originally was to be a basketball star, NBA player, right? Y'all, we all know. Y'all, I cringe even thinking about that. We all know what happens in the NBA and how many players, like how likely you are to get into the NBA, all that good stuff. And the pathway to the NBA is extremely difficult. We all know that. And so as the controlling mom that I am, I panicked and I was like, babe, let's try to do something else. I don't think that's gonna work. Like trying to gently guide him away from that. And as I moved through that, what I realized more than anything else was I didn't need to guide him through anything because he was naturally going to be like guided through that, right? He was going to see the difficulty of it. He was going to see the commitment that it took. he was going to do all that and determine based off of that whether or not that was where he was going to end up. Okay, so all of that was going to happen just solely based off of that. So again, the number one thing you need to do is find out what your child's end game is. Okay, now you have your child's end game. Now you want to ask yourself, what is your end game? Okay, so do you want your child to be in a technical school? Do you want your child to go to a four-year college? Do you want them to be able to work and hold a steady job? You want them to be an entrepreneur? What is your end game? But the only reason why you're asking that is so that you know, with your wisdom and your knowledge, that you're able to help your child, I guess, use your knowledge and your wisdom to guide them through their goal, to their end game. And so say, for instance, I would love for the same son that wants to be in the NBA to do something with as far as a technical school. But that's not what he wants to do. Okay. And so that was really difficult for me. I had to step back. That's a nice way to say that, right? I had to step back and say to him, like, hey, we're going to go your route. What I will do is, in the meantime, I will prepare you for the basics. And while I prepare you for the basics, we can determine exactly what it is that you want to do. And so one thing that hasn't changed about this particular child is that he has said flat out, I do not want to go to college. College is not my thing. And so that has been very consistent for years. That's been very consistent for us. Okay, so two things you're supposed to be doing, right? Number one, find out what your child's end game is, not what your end game is, right? Number two, you are finding out your end game as well. You want to know what your goal is, right? Okay. And then number three, based off of all of that, you want to find out your state requirements. Okay. What is required for your child to graduate from high school as a homeschooler? For Texas, I told you guys, we're pretty easygoing state. We pretty much do what we want, right? We can make whatever course, we can do whatever we want to do as far as that's concerned. But what I've decided is to make sure that we stay kind of close to the TEA's regulations. So the Texas Educator, something, blah, blah, blah agency. They've got set rules of what is required for kids to graduate in the normal public school system. And so we tend to follow very closely to it. We don't do it exact. We don't do everything that they do, but we do follow it very closely. And so that's what we do as far as that's concerned. So I know my requirements. I know how many credits are required for him to graduate from high school. I know how many credits are required for him to go to college. I know all that good stuff. I know what subjects he needs, all that good stuff, right? So it's very important that you follow that through. Okay. So again, I'm going to repeat because sometimes we miss it, right? Number one, what's your child's end game? Number two, what's your end game? Number three, what are your state's requirements? Okay. And then I always say, and I was talking about the agency, the TEA agency, but I want to tell you that it's important, even if your child chooses not to go to a four-year college, a college of any sorts whatsoever. To me, it is always important for them to get the basics of what's required to go to a public school. And let me tell you why. Well, not necessarily to go to a public school, but to go to a four-year college. And let me tell you why, okay? So my oldest, who is now a senior, has been wanting to go to an art school forever and ever and ever and ever. Forever, like for real. She's been wanting to go to an art school forever. And we were planning for that based off of that. And then recently, her senior year, things changed. Now, I'm grateful because, yes, I was preparing her to go to that art school. However, I was still doing some of the basics. So when she changed her mind and decided that she would rather go to a four-year college, and the reason that she changed is absolutely amazing, in my opinion. And what it was for her, just to give you a little insight, her thing was, I want to do something in art, but if I go to an art school, then I'm only learning what to do as far as art school is concerned. But if I go to a four-year college, then yes, I can go to college with a great art program and I can learn and pick what I want to do as far as that's concerned. But I also have other opportunities to figure out what it is that I want to do. So I have the opportunity to explore different majors and different minors and stuff like that. Okay. So that was her reason. After doing research, that was her reason for changing it from art school to four-year college, which is great, right? So we're doing that, but I am excited and I'm glad because in the midst of that on our senior year, instead of me completely panicking because she is not prepared to do any of that, she does have the basics. And so she's good to go, right? So there are some things that we are switching and changing to help her. And I'll talk about that in a little bit in our next point, but we're still good to go. So it's always important to give them the basics, okay? So number one, right? What's your child's end game? Number two, what's your end game? Number three, find out your state's laws, your state requirements, okay? And then number four is always give them the basics, at least give them the groundwork, right? And then number five is do your research, okay? So after you've done all that, do your research. Are you going to want your child to get college credits while they're in school? Do you want them to do dual enrollment? Do you want them to do CLEP tests, CLEP tests? Do you want them to do internships? Like, you want to do your research. Are there courses that they are interested in that maybe you can't teach, but a college student is looking for hours towards their degree and would be willing to teach your child, right? What are the things that you have? I will give you some absolutely wonderful resources as far as that's concerned. This book, and there's also, goodness gracious, let's do it like this. The blurred background is making it trip. Help me, Father. There we go. Let's see if I can get it. There we go. Okay. This book, which is called Homeschooling for College Credit. Okay. Homeschooling for College Credit. I cannot show you the entire book because it's not blurred, or it won't blur it right, unblur it right. Let's see if it'll let me see if I can do it. Let me see. Nope. See, it won't let me do it, but Homeschooling for College Credit. Okay. This book is absolutely amazing. And it has all kind of information about whether dual enrollment or CLEP is better for you, whatever the case may be. And so I recommend this book. There's also a page on Facebook, Homeschooling for College Credit. They do have state groups as well. So there's one for us here in Texas. You can ask 1,000,001 questions and they will literally answer 1,000,001 questions for you. Another thing that I would do as far as research is I would go to the College Board exam website and see kind of what's going on, what's offered, what's an option, what's not. Like, my daughter has chosen to do some CLEP classes. And so what she's doing right now is taking the courses. She's taking a few. Here's one of them. Let me see if I can get that. CLEP for college composition. So we're working on college composition for her to be able to take the test and pass that and get college credit. And why we are doing that is because as high schoolers, despite, and just paying for the test is way cheaper than paying for the actual course when they get into college. So my goal is to get her as many college credits as possible before it's time for her to actually head off to college. And that was just a decision that we made together as her and I, right? So I sat down and said, okay, babe. Okay, Sweet Pea, here are your options. Okay, here are the things that we can do in the next year. You tell me what you want to do. Dual enrollment is this, it means this. The CLEP is this, and it means this. Did you want to do some internships? What is it that you wanted to do? And she thought about it and she picked the CLEP test. So what we're working on this year is CLEP courses, and we're working on the ACT. That's what we choose to work on in our house, okay? The next thing is, listen, what about the transcript and the report card? I know people panic and get so scared about the transcript and the report card. And so I wanted to talk to you about this. I've got an absolutely easy resource for you to use. It is editable, right? On my website, SeanTheHomeschoolGuru.com. And this one right here is an official transcript. I'm showing it to you on the screen if you are watching with me on the blog. If you're on my podcast, you can see an example of that on SeanTheHomeschoolGuru.com and go to the shop, and it's right there. But it's editable and you can enter in any information that you want to enter in. So I am going to, let's see, what shall I do? Let's see. Rosie Mark, I don't know, don't ask. Her date of birth is, I don't know, let's see, 05. I see I'm thinking too much, okay. 2004. And she is female, okay? And she lives at my house in my city, okay? And in Texas, and the zip code is, okay, 76018, and she graduates on what day? We're going to say she graduates on 5/15/2022. We're just making up something. Her credits earned are, let's see, 25. Let's just say that her grade point average is 3.54. Let's just make that up, okay? Name of the school is My School, and it's my house, okay? In my city, Texas, okay? And my phone number is Mind Your Own Self Business. Y'all know I'm goofy by now, okay? Email is also mindyourownselfbusiness@gmail.com, okay? And the school year. So we'll go down through here, and I'm just goofing off, y'all, but I wanted you to see what was going on, what's on here. So the school year, so say for instance, let's start with, so that's ninth grade, as you can see, hopefully you can see it right here, okay? So the school year, 4 years ago, it's 2021. Let's see, 2021 is this year. Okay. I guess, yeah, you could do it that way. Okay, 2021, 2020 to 2021. Okay. And then 2019 to 2020. Okay. And then 2018 to 2019. And this is our ninth grade year, and whatever courses she took. So if she took math, she took math. The credits that she earned, say she earned 1 credit and the final grade was a B+. So I've got an amazing resource for you to be able to have an official transcript, right? So you fill all that goodness out, right? All that goodness, all the credits. And then down here as the administrator, you would sign, or your husband, whomever, right? I do hereby affirm that this official academic record is accurate and complete. Sign it, and then you would put your date. So that's the official transcript. And then on the second page, there is a place for activities and awards. So say she was in Girl Scouts and she started in I don't know, let's just make it up, 2014, and she's still going strong, and she'll be still going strong in 2022, okay? And again, you can sign and date that as well, okay? So as far as resources, are there resources out there for like the transcript and all that good stuff? Absolutely, you can do that. There's no problem as far as that's concerned. Even for report cards, say for instance, you'd rather do report card first or whatever the case may be, and then go through there. I've got that as well on my website, which is SeanTheHomeschoolGuru.com. Student information, their academic record. So their level, whether it's an honors course, a advanced placement course, a college prep course, how many credits, and then the actual grade, the percentage, right? So you've got different options as far as that's concerned. So yes, there are things that you can do to educate your child, right? There are things that you can do as far as the transcript is concerned, and it doesn't mean that you are doing anything less than the traditional public school system, okay? So if the question is, can you homeschool your child all the way up to high school? And let me say, heck yeah, absolutely, you can homeschool your child all the way through high school. Be encouraged. You're not the only one that's doing this. And there are tons of different resources for you to get the information that you're needing to get, right? Listen, I'm a resource. I've been here for a while now. Hopefully you know me by now. If you're not, if you're new, say, hey girl, let me know that you're new, right? So I can shout you out. But at this point, if the question was flat out, can you on the screen, you watching this video, can you homeschool your child through high school? My answer to you is absolutely. And the reason why I can say that with such conviction and such like force and such like no doubt in my mind is because I truthfully believe in my heart of hearts that if I can do it, then anybody in this world can do it. Because y'all, this was not my bag. I told y'all that. I told y'all that in my book. It was never my plan to homeschool my children. Never my plan to homeschool my children. Yet here I am, and I wouldn't change it for the world. And so if you ask me, can you homeschool your child? Can you insert your name, right? I want you to say that to yourself, right? Can I, Sean Taylor, homeschool my children through high school? Yeah. I can do this, right? I can do this. Y'all listen. And another thing too, that I wanted to talk to you about is curriculum, right? A lot of people have questions about curriculum, and this is not a part of what I was going to talk about at all, but I do feel that it's something that I should mention as far as that's concerned. There are so many different resources out there for high school. We have tried a few. We have tried Abeka, and Abeka Y'all, I will never buy another Abeka book, curriculum, or anything in my life. Not because it's not quality work or quality curriculum, but because it's simply just too much. It's unnecessary. There's too much in there. It's just, it's unnecessary, right? It's unnecessary for my child to sit in class all day and then go home and do an hour's worth of homework for each subject, or an hour and a half worth of work, right? Like that doesn't sit well with me, right? But listen, you have to make your own decision. What works for you works for you. So listen, I'm your girl. If you don't know me by now, again, my name is Sean Taylor. You are more than welcome to reach out to me at help@SeanTheHomeschoolGuru.com. On all social media, Sean the Homeschool Guru. Guys, you can do this, and I will tell you flat out, the reason why I feel that you can do this is because I didn't think that I could do it. And here I am, y'all, sitting here homeschooling my children, right? Homeschooling my high schoolers. So y'all have an absolutely wonderful day. I will talk to y'all soon. Do me a favor, share, share, share. Follow me on all social media, on my podcast, because I will be coming live often. You guys know me by now. That's what I do. I'll be coming live often to help you through this homeschooling journey. You guys do not have to do this alone. I am here for you. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.